Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
I knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Good evening, and welcome to Portimao, where tonight, West Coast Sim Racing brings the Porsche Cup to one of the most demanding circuits in the world. The Algarve circuit is a true roller coaster, full of blind crests, dramatic elevation change, heavy braking zones, and corners that punish even the smallest mistake. In a Porsche Cup machinery, the challenge only gets tougher. With very little room for error, drivers will need precision, patience, and complete commitment to put a lap together here. This is the track that rewards confidence, but it punishes overdriving. Through the flowing middle sector and the long, loaded corners late in the lap, balance and discipline will be everything. One clean run can gain huge time, while one mistake can cost even more. The stage is set for a serious test of driver skill. This is West Coast Sim Racing, Porsche Cup at Portimao, and it's time to go racing, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. As I said, this is West Coast Sim Racing. This is the Porsche Cup. This stream brought to you by Ignition Sim Racing. Ignition Sim Racing, for all of your sim racing needs, look no further. Headed into the penultimate round here at Portimao, then Road Atlanta for the finale next week. We take a break until July. The championship kicks off yet again. Looking at the points, it's Brennan Myers in the lead with 169 points. Zach Sevier with 156. Josh Hunter in third. Edwin Onofre in fourth. Alexei Andreu in fifth. Joe Rainey in sixth. Daniel Redmond in seventh. Lewis Holloway, Dylan Lee, Connor T. Cunningham, Brandon Birch, Andres Perfina, Nico Colby, Michael Odell, George Lawrence, Sergio Orestes, Warren Johnson, Igor Rizkov, Slater Colby, and Miles Guerrero. Taking a look at the race analysis, a race length of 45 minutes, pit road speed of 50 miles per hour with unlimited tire sets available, one competition caution, 100% racing fuel, and iRacing open setups. I'm your host tonight on the mic and part of the production crew. Sagar Bakshi taking you from green to checkered flag here tonight, and we are ready to get gridded up here in just a few moments, folks, without any further delay. See what the drivers are all up to. Taking a look at that starting grid. It'll be Jeremy Fletcher and Edwin Onofre on that front row. And Nico Colby and Brennan Myers. Josh Hunter and Zach Severe. Alexei Andreu and Joe Rainey. Dylan Lee and Lewis Holloway. Boris Dragovic and Warren Johnson round out the 12 drivers tonight. Porsche safety car taking us for a full lap around Portimao for the drivers to warm up their tires. Cheers for Dylan Lee in the chat from Archbishop Quill. Here at the beautiful Portimao circuit, we have 16 corners, in total. 7 to the left, 9 to the right, with a 969 meter or 3,179 foot long straightaway. Track that opened just back in 2008. We are located in Portimao, Portugal. Although we have a small grid tonight, the pack is going to remain tight as ever. Checking in now with Zach Severe, who's running back and starting from pit lane by the looks of it. Coming down in the Torre VIP, the downhill steep hairpin corner, often seen from this angle in MotoGP. Through the kink into the double right-hander. That is Samsung. Down the hill into Craig Jones corner. We're going back up the roller coaster ride into Portimao. Once you get up the hill to Portimao, it's all downhill from here. Oh no, and Josh Hunter is off. Oh no. Trying to warm up his tires, Josh Hunter is off. Lit up the rear end and spun out. Let's see if Josh Hunter can catch back up to his rightful place in P5. As we get ready to take the race start, Fletcher and Onofre line that first row. Let's see when Fletcher decides to go. here tonight as the pace car pulls in and we get ready to go green. Fletcher waits for the green lights. And it's green, green, green for the entire field. Fletcher leads Colby. Edwin Onofre falls back very early on in this battle here. Edwin Onofre challenges but falls back to third place as we come down into the first pair of corners through Primera, through Lagos, up the hill, and through turn 4. Oh no, big accident in the background, and of course it's involving Brennan Myers. Of course, it's always Brennan Myers involved in incidences in the opening lap and avoiding action taken from Zach Severe, who started in pit lane. Brennan Myers has his work cut out for him, as he usually does on that recovery drive, working his way through the grid yet again. The Apex Motor Club badged Porsche of Nico Colby, which should be a Copeland Motorsports badged car, I would imagine. Chases down the JFR machine of the 22 up ahead. Well, I guess not. If JFR is running a JFR livery, then I guess that's okay. Jeremy Fletcher running in the lead of this race, 8/10 the gap to Edwin Onofre, and continuing to gap the field. Again, has Nico Colby to keep him company for now. Riding on board with the young driver. Currently running in P2 as they almost breach track limits there, coming through Primera. Doors slightly ajar for Nico Colby, but he can't quite get alongside to the number 22 there. Fletcher, Colby, Onofre, and Josh Hunter has found his way back up into the mix. Josh Hunter, who had a big slip, trip, and fall on the opening lap, was able to recover somehow, some way, and get back into P5 for the race start, and bested Joe Rainey. Joe Rainey running a respectable P5 currently. Has Brennan Myers further back, around 5 seconds back from him. Right now, Fletcher leads Colby and pulls out a 4/10 margin, but that gap closes down under braking. And there goes Colby into the lead of the race. That's the young Nico Colby at 16. And the outside run, trying to make something happen, coming down into Samsung. But a little switchback tries to get engaged for the young 14-year-old. As Fletcher defends hard but fair continuously, time and time again. We go up the hill into Portimao. We know Fletcher likes to bunch up the field and control the pace. Can he do so with Nico Colby barreling down his neck? And what a switchback there from the number 16. He gets a nose ahead, but into braking. It'll be Jeremy Fletcher who parks it on the apex and prevents Nico Colby from getting a good optimal run out of the penultimate corner. Seven-tenths, a blanket could be thrown over the top four right now, as the gap comes down to a half a second into the braking of turn one. Edwin Onofre checks up Josh Hunter a little bit under braking. Fletcher still leads. Let's check back in here. Lewis Holloway in a bit of a battle. That'll be Dylan Lee, the number 2, going toe-to-toe. And we're going to get elbows out with Alexe Andreu, who tries to park it on the apex on the inside line, but backs out of it, thinks better of the situation. Alexe, and trying to get his recovery drive on right now, up into P10, under braking, coming down into Torre VIP. It'll be a long way to the top for Alexe. He's going to have to hold on to the outside line. No, he's on the inside, as you can see from the rear view mirror of Lewis Holloway. And then the outside for the following corner barrels down in towards Samsung. Super late on the brakes in confidence for the number 19. Dylan Lee and Warren Johnson now extend their battle. Warren Johnson currently running in P8 with Dylan Lee running in P9. There goes a move, a look, a glance from Lee, late on the brakes, but they're gonna touch, and Warren Johnson runs into the side of Lee, and Lee is left picking up the pieces now. In that background, Alexe Andreu nearly ran into the back of Warren Johnson, who had to take evasive action coming into Primera. Warren Johnson, Lewis Holloway dukes it out, and a touch there from Warren Johnson into Lewis Holloway, the camber and caster machine. Now rests his head up into P8, Lewis Holloway. Alexe Andreu's there to keep him warm and toasty at night. I don't think Alexe wants to keep Holloway company for too long, as he's definitely trying to make up ground here before the competition caution comes out. It might be all he's able to recover until the race restart. We'll have to see. It'll be a long order to climb up. Get 8 seconds there to Zach Severe. Checking in for the battle for the lead. It's still Fletcher, Colby, Onofre, and Josh Hunter here. side by side through one of the fastest parts of the track. Up the hill into Portimao, the door was left open. I'm surprised that Colby didn't go for it there. Onofre sure is waiting for his opportunity right now, but I think it may have come and gone. 16 into the back of 22, pushes Fletcher through. 199 expresses a lot of patience as a virtue. But again, I wonder if it's too late for him to try to challenge Fletcher for the lead. Edwin Onofre running P4 in the championship right now. Definitely use a good haul of points this evening. Especially with the way things turned out at Mount Fuji. Let's see now. Battle for the lead between Colby and Fletcher. It will be the young Nico Colby getting ahead of Jeremy Fletcher. And now cutting off the nose of Edwin Onofre and going off into the grass with a late breaking move down into the hairpin. Edwin Onofre gets the move done into P2. Looked like Onofre was going to get leaned on there by Jeremy Fletcher. Onofre wasn't having any of it. Almost looked like he slammed on the brakes to check up that lean and took that evasive action. What a move there. Jeremy Fletcher sits back with Josh Hunter as company. Here goes a look from Onofre on Nico Colby. Their battle for the lead continues to rage on, and though it doesn't include Jeremy Fletcher at the moment, he's not down and out completely yet. These are the closest two battles on the racetrack. Nico Colby, Edwin Onofre, Fletcher, and Josh Hunter. Joe Rainey and Brennan Myers are doing their best to stay together and work together, but they're sitting P5, P6 currently. Lewis Holloway has exchanged positions with Alexe Andreu here at the Algarve circuit. Battle for the lead rages on. Fletcher made a look there on Edwin Onofre, but I didn't think that move was on, and neither did Onofre, as he drove cleanly on the racing line and even needed to take evasive action there. That might be the opportunity that Jeremy Fletcher needed. Edwin Onofre is going extremely slowly through Lagos, trying to capitalize his run coming out of turn 4 and down into Torre VIP. Here it is, the optimum run on the outside line, but it's a long way around the outside, and track limits are the bane of everybody's existence here on the racetrack. Onofre closes down the gap as we come through the first part of Samsung. In through the second part, he's going to be on the accelerator a little bit earlier than Colby. Up the hill into Portimao, there's a couple of different lines that you can definitely take. Jeremy Fletcher is trying to take the inside line to try to get one over on Edwin right now. Checking in with the battle here between Brendan Myers and Joe Rainey. It still holds fast at around half a second. Hold on, Edwin Onofre makes a move for the lead coming down in towards turn one. Surprised us all as Nico Colby makes a mistake coming out of the final corner. So does Jeremy Fletcher. He falls back down into P4, leaving the 1, 2, 3 of Onofre, Colby, and then Hunter. Let's see what Edwin Onofre can do from out in P1 currently. To the inside line goes the attack of Nico Colby, and it will be staved off by Edwin Onofre at the top of the hill into Portimao. Another attack there from the 16. Onofre pinches him to the apex. Says if you want the inside, you can have it. Coming out of the hairpin before we got to Sagres. I'm guessing in the next 2 laps, we will see the competition caution come out to neutralize the field, and we'll take a quick commercial break. Then we'll be right back for more racing action here by West Coast Sim Racing. Live every Monday and Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. .26 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Still very much anybody's ball game, especially with the competition caution yet to be called. Onofre is pulling out a big gap right now. Half a second into sector 1 on Colby. Of course, that will be neutralized come the competition caution, but at least for now, Edwin Onofre maintains a healthy lead in front of Nico Colby getting through turn 1, but not the same at the end of Sector 1, coming down into Torre VIP. Joe Rainey and Brennan Myers still locked in their battle. Rainey chases down Brennan Myers for a little bit of tow. Running nearly identical laps. Their last lap times 1:43.4 compared to 1:43.5. 1:42s for the race leaders. Taking a look at the net gained lost. Colby challenged by Hunter. Get some confusion here. And I believe that's actually going to be the competition caution called. And we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a few moments.
Trade for bananas?
Bananas? No thanks. Are you tired of lowball offers and no-shows? Here at VehicleBuyers.com, we make it fast and easy to sell your vehicle. Enter your vehicle information into our website and receive an offer for your vehicle. Our competitive offers ensure that you get the best deal possible. If you're ready to sell your vehicle, click the link below.
VehicleBuyers.com. Visit us today. Having trouble outfoxing the deals and the competition getting you all flustered? Time to be sly and visit Overstockvehicles.com. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. Overstockvehicles.com. Visit us today.
Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Back on track and we're ready to go. Green, green, green here in just a few moments time. Drivers come out of the final corner. It'll be announced to race control or through race control when we go green. And there it is. The Bumblebees go flying of the Porsche 992.2. Free to the inside line, trying to defend hard but fair against the number 16, who goes out a little bit wide but carries the momentum. And the 22 of Fletcher is there in third. Tried to close down the gap under braking, but he was a little too far back. There goes Rainey through on Brennan Myers. He played the patient waiting game early on in this race. It's paid dividends here and now. Lewis Holloway battling with Zach Severe, who started from the pits. 7-1-4, duking it out for 8th and 9th place. Warren Johnson tumbles down the order and falls back into 12th place. And he was involved with what looks like a solo spin. Edwin locked steep in his battle for P1 with Nico Colby up ahead. Jeremy Fletcher, what are you doing back here in P9? Tumbles down the order now, P10, as he dukes it out with Dylan Lee. Side by side through turn 1, Fletcher's barely ahead of Dylan Lee, and Lewis Holloway gonna try to take advantage of the situation from behind as well. There goes Dylan Lee, late on the brakes into Jeremy Fletcher. Now he'll spin around on throttle coming out of turn 4. Edwin Onofre trying to find the pace and momentum he needs here at the Algarve circuit to try to get around Nico Colby, all without leaving himself vulnerable to the attacks from Josh Hunter behind. Josh Hunter is no slouch in the Porsche Cups, as he is a winner multiple times in this category of racing. Here comes Onofre on the 1-6 up ahead of Nico Colby. Doesn't go for the move just yet. Plenty of time remaining in this race. Defensive run, good switchback from the 199 on the 16, but it's not enough overlap to garnish any real estate to that racing line. Josh Hunter into the mix, and don't count your horses just yet, but look who it is. Brennan Myers back up into P4 yet again. Also, Zach Severe climbing through the ranks tonight. Driver started from the pits up into P6 tonight. Big moment for the 16. That's going to send him round. Onofre becomes unleashed. Tiny little mistake there from the 16, coming over the curb out of the final quarter of Galp. And that's what is going to unleash the pace of Edwin Onofre, who's commanded his way into P1. But now, Hunter, Myers there, who have all waited for their opportunity at another win themselves. One second the gap from Myers to the win. Definitely a recovery drive from last to first, as he typically does in these races. Onofre is not out of the woods just yet. Coming over the start finish line for the 18th time. On to lap 19 we go racing. The 199 leads the 81, then the 23 further back. Lewis Holloway contends with Nico Colby, and Alexei Andreu in 9th position. Has to get around Lewis Holloway all over again. '93 goes a little too deep. That's going to allow Alexei Andreu to climb right on through. He doesn't need to be invited twice to that opportunity. He's going to get the move done free and clear. Alexei up into P8 tonight. Looking at Zach Severe, the 714, a great job of just picking up the pieces this evening. He has Jeremy Fletcher behind, around 1.3 back and lapping in the 142s again, 142.8 being his last lap, best lap. So Severe definitely feeling the pressure and the heat from the engine from Fletcher. Whoa, Severe goes airborne over the sausages as he could not avoid it. And does he go defensive on Jeremy Fletcher? I think not. He does go a little bit defensive as Fletcher tried to push him a little wide there at the entrance of turn 4. But Jeremy Fletcher cannot be stopped as he climbs back up into P5 this race. Alexei Andreu and Nico Colby coming through the first part of Samsung into the second. Andreu parks it on the apex in front of Nico Colby. There goes the 16 to the inside at the top of the hill of Portimao, and it'll be a switchback for the number 19. Slip and slide moment for Nico Colby as he gets onto the gravel that was left behind from another patron. Here comes the side-by-side run between Alexe and Nico Colby. The drag down towards turn one. Who's going to be later on the brakes tonight? It will be the 16 as Alexe tried to turn in. He couldn't find the real estate as it was occupied by one of the Colbys. Up ahead, the battle for the lead hasn't evaporated yet. Josh Hunter was about a 10th faster on that previous lap. Just waiting for any mistake from the 199. Here we go, back over to Colby and Alexe. It looks like Alexe hasn't quite given up yet on his battle with Nico Colby. This is the closest battle on track, though Josh Hunter still closes down his gap between himself and Edwin Onfrey. It accordions back and forth between 0.3 and 0.6 of a second. Eight minutes remaining on the clock, folks. Anything can happen in motorsports and typically does, so it's anything but decided at this point in time who's going to walk away with a top 10 and a haul of points on the evening. Checking in on the Discord to see if there's been any notifications to what happened to Warren Johnson. Not seeing anything happening on the Discord channel, but he's in pits right now. Boris Dragovich taking his pit stop as well, be behind Dylan Lee. Josh Hunter in his battle for the lead is here and now. But let's take a look at Fletcher and Joe Rainey. As Rainey was sitting pretty for a top 4 finish, now we'll have to be content with a top 5. Unless that is Zach Severe has anything to say about it, the 714 has been climbing through the order and is going to do so till the end of the race. The 714 up quite a few positions despite starting from pit road. Lewis Holloway and Dylan Lee involved in their own tussle. The Camber and Castor driver. Doing everything he can to defend the top 10. Lap times not going the way of Holloway the last time by. 144.8 compared to the 143.8 of Dylan Lee. Let's see what the lap times are when the leaders cross the line now. 152.5 or 142, excuse me. We're at a 142.9. Here it is for Holloway and Lee. 145.3 compared to 144.8. Lee about a half second faster that occasion. Battle for the lead has evaporated into thin air. 1.6 the gap as Josh Hunter makes a few bobbling mistakes and loses touch with the leader of Edwin Onofre. Here's the battle between Colby and Rainey as Colby tries to get slingshotted out of the final corner, as much of the track width as possible. Getting in towards turn one, he's late on the brakes and uses every bit of that curbing on exit. Nico Colby trying to close down his gap on Joe Rainey and has done so successfully. Now he has the hard task at hand of getting through cleanly on a fellow driver on the racetrack. All the while, Alexe is there ready to pick up the pieces should anything pop off going into the final lap. Side by side between Colby and Alexe, but I think Colby is trying to get the overlap there. Try to snap back. This should be the last lap of the race. Lead on the brakes goes the 16 in towards turn one. Despite having the inside line, was able to carry a tremendous amount of speed. Edwin Onofre has his 1.5 second gap to Josh Hunter. I think he's going to take his lead and go home with it at the end of the evening. Further back, we see the battle between Joe Rainey, Alexe Andreu here, and Nico Colby. Three-way squabble continues for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Up the hill in towards Portimao, the 16, but the 17 goes round himself. Joe Rainey makes a slight mistake. Coming over the hill for the final time, It'll be Edwin Onofre who takes the win, with Josh Hunter in P2, Brennan Myers in third in front of Zach Severe, who climbed back into P4. Nico Colby in fifth, still dukes it out with Alexe Andreu, who goes very wide out of the final corner, but drags out the battle to the checkered flag. Dylan Lee in seventh, Lewis Holloway in eighth, Joe Rainey in ninth, and Jeremy Fletcher rounding out your top 10. It was Onofre who took the win, who started in second, and Josh Hunter, Brennan Myers, Zach Severe, Nico Colby, Alexe Andreu, Dylan Lee, Lewis Holloway, Joe Rainey, and Jeremy Fletcher. And Boris Dragovich and Warren Johnson round out the 12 participants. Getting our drivers ready for their interview. We'll go ahead and talk to them in just a moment. But what a race it was here tonight. It was a tremendous run for everybody. But let's talk to our race winner, Edwin Onofre. Started in second. Had a steep battle there with Jeremy Fletcher. Zach Severe was chasing you guys down. Brennan Myers chasing you guys down. Josh Hunter was there at the end. Edwin, I mean, the pressure was on from the get-go. How does it feel to finally be done with this race at Portimao?
First off, thank you for interviewing me. It's been a pleasure to be talking with you. And second, I also like to thank credibility to Nico Colby for some good racing. A little bit unfortunate incident of what happened when he spun out at the last corner. I think the car got upset, and iRacing Physics says you're in a bounce house in this Porsche Cup, so it went ahead and bouncing around and ended up losing the rear end. But yeah, started in P2. I had to actually make a setup because I didn't have anything from one of the most common setup shops. So I had to, guess what? I had to use a setup from Imola because I thought it's similar, has some elevation change, a mix of low speed, medium speed, and high speed cornering. And then I did a few tweaks with the cambering and towing, and I don't know if that was the result that allowed me to get from P2 to consistent battling with the top three of Nico Colby and Jeremy Fletcher, and then eventually the race lead. But I guess the small things is what makes the biggest leaps in the end. So I ended up finishing P2 and I converted it to a win. So I think that's what really mattered there.
Heck yeah, Edwin. Anybody you'd like to shout out or thank on the victory tonight here at El Algarve Circuit?
First and foremost, Tech Sport Racing. Can't wait to see them on track real soon. Second off, you for producing this broadcast for us and all the people watching at home. Thank you so much for supporting this series. Look forward to Road Atlanta, which is one of my favorite tracks, but in a Porsche Cup, I don't know about that. I am getting better with the Porsche Cup, but I can't exactly call myself an esport driver until I win this championship, but we'll see how this goes. I'd like to thank everybody else who ended up supporting this series as well. Thank you, Warren Johnson, the owner of this series. Thank you for setting up this league for us to compete in, have a good time, and have a broadcaster like you. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Edwin. Have a great night and stay safe out there, brother.
You too.
Next up, we'll talk to Josh Hunter, the number 81, who started in fifth and unfortunately couldn't lead us for a single lap, but he was there to watch all the action. Josh, how did it feel to watch the action unfold right in front of your very eyes for pretty much the entirety of this race?
It was pretty exciting. Watching them battle it out kind of seems like there's beef between two certain drivers, so that's pretty entertaining to see for the past two races.
Absolutely. But it seemed like cooler heads prevailed. you know, Edwin Onfrey and Jeremy Fletcher going toe to toe for a little bit, but Edwin just not playing part of the reindeer games and slammed on the brakes there. I thought that was a pretty slick move.
Yeah, that was definitely a good move by him. I would not have been able to react in time for that to happen. So, props to him for that.
Absolutely. But enough about everybody else. Let's talk about your race, Josh Hunter. P2's got to feel pretty good after starting in P5. Did you think you had it in you tonight?
No, I didn't really get a whole lot of practice before the race, so I wasn't really sure. I'm used to driving this track in LMP2, so completely different braking zones and all that stuff to try to get used to. But just the usual, survive and let the other people take each other out and get a good position.
It definitely came your way at the end of it when the checker flag flew. Josh Hunter, anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the second place tonight?
As always, you for the broadcast and Warren for the league.
Right on. Thank you very much, Josh Hunter. Really appreciate you. Have a wonderful night, my friend.
Thank you, you too.
And third place goes the way of Mr. Brennan Myers. And Mr. Myers, do I even need to say it? Or are we through?
We made it back again.
We sure did. Another heroic podium for Brennan Myers after an early spin coming out of turn 4. Barely even caught a glimpse of what happened. Tell us about what occurred, Brennan.
Yeah, the spin out on the first lap, just went into it with cold tires, went around the outside, going up the bend. Thought I played it safe, but didn't play it safe enough and lost traction and spun out.
Oh, man. Cold tires in these cars definitely catches out even the best of drivers. So don't feel too bad about it. But the recovery drive back into P3 was slow and steady. You had, who was it? It was Joe Rainey and Zach Severe to keep you company at times. That must have been entertaining to duke it out with them when you guys were pretty much by yourselves.
Yeah, once I got around Joe, I kind of went into fuel saving mode because I was kind of scared if I brought enough fuel or not, depending on how long the caution lap was going to be. So I had to start kind of saving fuel a little bit. Then the safety car came out, got a good restart. Towards the end, we started pulling away in the pack, but there at the end of the race, started losing pace because the tires were dying. They were screaming for help. But then also got a little focused on the rear view mirrors. Got a Jeremy Fletcher coming up out of nowhere, zipping across the curbs. kind of had me scared a little bit. He was gonna get up there, but figured he'd be penalized for incidents as well.
Yeah, it ended up being a P10 finish for Fletcher, but third place finish for you ended up working out pretty well at the end of the day. Anybody you'd like to shout out or thank on the podium tonight?
Warren for the league, you for putting on the broadcast every Tuesday and Thursday for us. We appreciate those. And Wednesday. Do you do the Wednesdays as well? Coming up?
Starting soon to a channel near you.
Cool. And then just my cat and my grandparents as well.
Shout out to the cat and Grandpa and Grandma Myers. Thank you very much, Brennan. Have a great night, my friend.
Yes, sir. You as well. Thank you.
Last but not least, it'll be Warren Johnson. And Warren Johnson's race didn't exactly go the way he planned. He was down and out, and P12 this time around. Warren, tell us about what happened tonight.
Oh, it was exactly as planned. That's exactly what was going to happen.
Excellent.
That was perfect. It was just, that track. I have to learn that track. I've never raced that track before. This car, I'm still learning, basically. So that was how it was going to be. I was having fun watching everybody wreck and race, though. That was cool.
If you teach me Coda, I will teach you the Algarve circuit. Deal?
I don't know that fucking track either. Coda, it's not. I'll teach you Sonoma and Laguna.
I
maybe
know both of those tracks. Thank you very much. Nope. Yeah. All the easy ones I've gotten down. It's the hard ones. Yeah. Anyways, any shout outs or anything announcements for the league coming up? I know we're taking a break through the month of June after next week. Anything coming up in the meantime? Fun races. I know we have the Mazda races for the series coming up as well.
Yeah, we're working on the schedules right now for the next season. We're gonna try to get those out early so everyone can kind of know what's going on. Not quite sure yet what we're gonna run for the Thursday series. It's a toss up between a couple different cars, GTP, GT3, GT4, and I don't think we're gonna do Porsche Cup again. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. It's gonna be something to do with those three cars. What I kind of want to do is how we did it last season, where we split every other race. So, like, for example, GT3 one week, then GT4 the next week, and then just go from there. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on with that. The schedules we've kind of gotten made. We're just fine tuning them. They're looking really awesome. So, looking forward to July, and that Mazda series is going to be really good too. So, we're hoping we can get a good amount of people for next season. It's going to be really, really fun.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Warren Johnson. Have a great night. We'll see you in a few.
You as well. See you next week.
That, my friends, is going to close us out for the evening. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag, but all good things have to come to an end, and so shall this. On behalf of V-Speed, it's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. I'm Sagar Bakshi, your commentator and producer. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.